Hello everybody, welcome. I'm trying to clean off my camera really quick. Okay, I think that'll be a little bit clearer. Hello, we're just gonna wait 1 second for me to add on my co-host, Kimberly Wilde, so we're just gonna give it one little teeny second. As you guys are coming in, please let us know where you're coming in from and share. Okay, I think I found Kimberly. Hold on. Okay, I'm adding her. Hopefully, we don't have any. Am I echoing?
Hi. It's really loud. Let me turn this down. Yeah.
I'm echoing?
Okay, I took one out.
Am I still echoing?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, we're good.
Good.
All right.
Hi.
Yay! Welcome, you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to Expose the Narcissist's Worst Nightmare. We're your hosts, Lisa Fuller, Kimberly Wilde. And you guys share, if you're on Facebook, share. And you could be watching this right now on YouTube, our YouTube channel, or you're watching it on Facebook. Please feel free to leave comments. We love it. I read them. I read all of them. So make sure you're leaving us comments. First of all, I just want to welcome you guys. Thank you for joining us. Man, I think now more than ever, I mean, things are going on in the world every single day with narcissists, with people in abusive relationships. And I don't know if you guys have been following Gabby's story, but that is just, it's insane. Like, it's insane. I actually made a post on my page that I stole from Kimberly. That was really good.
I stole it from someone else, you know.
Yeah, but it's so good. It's so good. So you guys go to her page or go read it. But it just,
the cat,
like, is more validation to me that we have got to be here spreading awareness, because you guys, I just looked this up so I had exact numbers, but literally it's that 1% of humanity it has narcissistic tendencies or sociopathic tendencies, and 1 in every 10 men have NPD, and most don't get diagnosed. It's not like they go to the therapist and get diagnosed. They won't even go to a therapist. They don't want to get better. Narcissists are, I get asked that all the time. Can they change? Do they get better? They'll never change. They can't change. It's who they are. It's ingrained in them. Can they get better if they really wanted the help? Unfortunately, most don't. Most don't want the help. Most don't want the support. So tonight we want to kind of start with sharing with you guys what to look for, because you can have a boss in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I have a girlfriend that just shared a story with me last week where she literally, it's her priest. That. I mean, a whole story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you guys have no idea, but it could be a best friend that you've had in your life for years. It could be a parent, a sibling. You could have multiples
a
in
landlord,
your life.
You know, your landlord, your boss, your best friend.
Yep, spouse, boyfriend, all of it. So sometimes people don't know what to look for.
I had a book here, and I have this blanket. Now I can't. Oh, it's right here.
Well, then get your book. So I got to tell you guys that I had no clue what I was in, what was happening to me. I like, the word narcissist to me was somebody that's vain, that likes to look in the mirror. Like, I had no idea this was a thing. It was a disorder, that it had nothing to do with that. I mean, yes, narcissists think they're amazing, but like, I would never have known unless somebody told me, go look this up. I think this is what you're dealing with. And it was crazy to finally know what was going on, knowing that I wasn't crazy, knowing that this was a thing and that other people were going through the same thing. But that was 12 years in. That was 12 years into hell and torture. So I think the main reason Kimberly and I are doing this is because we want other people to recognize it so much sooner. Because here's the thing, no matter how hard you love a narcissist or a sociopath, no matter how much you will do anything for them to change, there's nothing you can do, nothing at all you can do to change somebody that's like that in your life. It's not possible. So the best thing you can do for yourself is get out, get away, and realize that you deserve so much better, and you will find somebody so much better. It's a whole nother video. We'll talk about the type of people that attract narcissists like myself, and Kimberly. But today we are going to literally talk about what those signs are that you should be looking for, that you could possibly be. The first sign, I want to say this, and then I'm going to hand it over to Kimberly to kind of share out of this book. But the first thing is if it doesn't feel right. If you are constantly confused, asking yourself, I know this isn't right. Like, what's going on? This isn't normal. If you find yourself Googling what's wrong with my relationship, normal people in good relationships don't Google what's wrong with my relationship. Like, that's a really strong sign that you probably are in a situation that you need to get out of, whether they have NPD or not. Like, you should get out. But so I'm going to let you kind of go first, Kimberly, and talk about like the signs that are in that awesome book, and then we can kind of talk about them.
So like gaslighting. So what is gaslighting? I mean, you hear people say that all the time, and then you'll hear people say, oh my gosh, stop gaslighting me, or oh, stop gaslighting me. And I think that all too often we're adults and we expect, like, we should know what all of these words mean, you guys. It is okay. We have never heard of these words before, and I'm still learning, okay? After 5+ months after getting out of a relationship with a narcissist, I'm learning what these words mean. So gaslighting, what is gaslighting?
Oh, you want me to say what gaslighting is? Oh, so gaslighting is when an individual is constantly, basically, it's a lot of things, but the first thing it is telling you you're crazy when you know something happened. Maybe you heard them say something and you go to confront that person with, wow, you really hurt my feelings when, and they say to you, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. You're crazy. You're making things up in your head. One of my favorite things that our ex-narc used to do to me was he would be like, give me an example. What do you mean? I've never done that. Tell me when. And you feel so flustered that it's happened a billion times, but they have convinced you that you're nuts. This has not happened. Like, you're out your mind. And gaslighting is also just constantly making a little bit. I think it's one of the big things. I'm trying to think of an example of being there were so many. I was gaslit every day.
Like everything being your fault. And like you could see that with Gabby in that when they were pulled over on the side of the road, and she just kept blaming herself. Well, it's all my fault. And you see that, but when you're in it, you don't see that. Unless you know.
No.
Like
all the time I used to be like, so one of the things they try to do is they will crazy make you so that you will react publicly, and then they can go tell everybody, see, look how she's reacting. Look how he's acting. They do that. It's all this stuff he would whisper in my ear and say to me. Like, I recall this one night we were out drinking with a bunch of people, and he was literally in my ear saying all of these horrible, horrible things. And finally, I'm drinking, I break down and I start crying. And of course he tells everybody I'm nuts and look at how she acts. But they didn't know what was happening, what he was saying, how he was trying to drive me to that place. He was gaslighting me to act this certain way so that other people would then think this is her. It's not him.
And he'll sit there and they'll sit there and they'll text you while you're with people. So like you could be out to dinner, you could be out, listening to music and and drinking. You could be anywhere, on vacation, anywhere, and they will be in your ear and basically and texting you, crazy making you.
Well, you want to know what's an example of this crazy making, and then also an example of how easy it is for them to take people they can manipulate to believe anything they want. But one of Kimberly's stories that she actually shared with screenshots, by the way, which mind-blowing to me that people can see actual screenshots of things and still go, oh, but that's a lie. They were out in Mexico, and basically Kimberly was just having a conversation with strangers, and she basically got this nervous feeling in her stomach. Oh crap, I'm talking to a man. Oh no, I'm going to get punished for this later. So she kind of freaked out, went over and sat down next to her ex-narc, and then literally where nobody could see, he had bit her lip to
Acting
the
like he was kissing me.
Yeah.
And then I have blood running down my face. I have to act like we're still in this moment of intimacy when no. Yeah, you know where you belong. Get your ass over here and sit down. Crunch. Blood dripping down.
And you can't cry. You're trying to hide your face because you know you'll be in even more trouble. So that just constant gaslighting you to say it's your fault. Meanwhile, people were there and witnessed this and still now somehow blame her.
Oh, she's in trouble. Oh, she's going to be in big trouble for that one. You know what I mean? It's like, and they know.
Yeah.
They're like, and yeah. Okay, so number 2, cannot put themselves in your shoes or anyone else's shoes for that matter. You find yourself desperately trying to explain how they might feel if you were treating them this way, and then they just stare at you blankly. You slowly learn not to communicate your feelings with them because they usually are met with silence and annoyance.
Yeah. If you constantly find yourself trying to explain common decency to an adult man or an adult woman, or trying to explain your feelings, any normal person could understand why you'd be upset. But a narcissist, you could go in circles for 10 days trying to get them to understand the way you're feeling, and they get it. They just don't
get
care.
it. They get it. They get it even without an explanation. They get it.
It's more ways to crazy make, and that was on this list. They truly don't care. They don't have empathy for other people, other situations. Now, what they do is over time, they learn how to act in certain situations. For instance, if they're at a funeral, they would know to try to pretend to be upset, or they can pretend emotions, but emotions are not real. They're not real emotions. That's the best way to describe it.
Right.
So if you kind of, see that your narcissist or sociopath isn't reacting the way that most people would react to situations, especially things going on in other people's lives. In public, I can tell you, our ex-narc, oh my God, he was the most sympathetic, amazing, but behind the scenes, no. And he would even make a point. I remember one specific time he was going and buying things for people for Christmas, and then wanting it for the social media app. Oh, look at how many families I'm helping, and just taking all these pictures. But behind the scenes, of course, he complains about how much money he spent. You know what I mean? It's like, it's only done for one reason. So, yeah.
And like the ultimate hypocrite. And they don't have a problem with you knowing that they're a hypocrite. Like, it is as I say. You do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Amen.
Pathological lying and excuses.
So this is a funny one, because what you might find yourself doing if you're in a relationship with a narcissist is you cover their lies up. You know they're lying. For instance, my ex-narc told this story of how he was the one responsible for us getting into the business venture that we got into. And I let him tell that story. It was a total lie, but I would let him tell it. And I knew it was a lie. You didn't want to call him out. Have you guys ever been around? It could be a boss. It could be a sister, a mother, a friend. Have you ever literally watched somebody lie and it was so uncomfortable you didn't want to call them out? Well, it's enabling the narcissist, but you will really see in your life a narcissist is going to be somebody that, and especially sociopaths, they 100% are constantly lying about stupid things, about big things. They want people to think they have done amazing things in their life when they haven't. They'll take credit for things they haven't done. They will try to belittle other people around them to take the credit. I've seen not just my personal ex-narc, but other narcissists literally think that other people are getting ideas from them.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I recall my ex-narc saying, I think our company has video cameras or hidden microphones in the house because I just came up with that
I
idea.
just came up with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything anyone says, they're the one that came up with it. They're the one that invented it. They had the best ideas. Oh, that was taken from me. They stole it. That was my idea. I'm the best, you know, without,
Yeah.
without, yeah, it's crazy.
And you know, like they focus on everyone else's mistakes but their own. Like they don't make mistakes. They're perfect, you know.
For real.
You find yourself explaining the basic elements of human respect to a full-grown man or woman. Okay, how about this? You get out of the car at the mall. Okay, you get out of the car at the mall, and with a normal person, you all walk in together, right? With a narcissist, it's like, well, with ours, he would be already in the damn store before I even got the kids out of the car. So, just common respect things. Just
Yeah.
leaving the house and not saying, okay, let's go, but then being out in the car waiting and texting, or just leaving without you because you were supposed to know that it was time to go.
You're supposed to be psychic. Yes. Always psychic. Narcissists, you'll find that you're supposed to be psychic. You're supposed to just know what they're feeling, how they're feeling, when they're leaving, where they're going, how they want it. And they'll tell you that. They will tell you, you should have known. You should already know this is how I will react to this. So therefore you shouldn't act like this, or you shouldn't do that. It's a lot of crazy making. And you always feel guilty. And you do wonder, is it my fault? What could I
You're just
do better?
questioning yourself constantly, just
Yeah.
always questioning. And they drain you of your energy. You feel completely drained, like they suck the life out of you.
Suck the life out of you. It's so true. They totally do. It's like it's insane how much of 15 years of my life it's hard for me to go back and look at the big picture because, okay, so I'll give you an example. I just flew back to my hometown of Ohio. That's where I spent 36 years of my life before I ended up moving to Arizona. And I asked my girlfriend, hey, can you drive past my old house? And when I drove past my old house, no memories came of anything good. None. Every memory that popped in my head was the first memory that popped in my head was not being able to go to Easter with my family because I had a black eye. The next memory that popped in my head was literally a plate of hot spaghetti being thrown at my face and the kids screaming in the kitchen. The next memory that popped in my head was me accusing him of cheating with somebody that I found out later. And he left that night to go cheat on me with them and literally had me crazy make. And then, you know, and I can't think of anything good. I'm like, I can't think of anything good that happened in this house. It was crazy. So it's just constant reminders. Like if you make a list of your relationship with this person and it is hard to think of things that are positive and pleasant, if those things are few and far between, if you feel upset more days than happy, a very good indication that you're probably intertwined with somebody that's making you feel like that and that you need to get away because it's not going to ever change. It's not going to get better.
And don't let the pretty pictures fool you. Like so many people know how to smile and take a good photo. You know, so many of those memories we can look back on and that was a really cool place. That was a really cool part of the country. That was a dream vacation. That could have been amazing. And you guys, we got to understand, they could have an amazing life. Like Lisa is an amazing person. I am an amazing person. You are amazing people. There is no reason we cannot be happy. There was no reason that you couldn't have had an amazing life with him. There wasn't a reason. A narcissist is never going to change, and you will never have a successful, thriving, happy, secure, wholesome feeling relationship with a narcissist. They are going to drain you of every single thing that you ever were, every good thing in you. They're sucking, literally sucking the life out of you. And so if you feel completely exhausted just in your relationship, that's a sign.
Yeah. 100.
Accuses you of feeling emotions that they are intentionally provoking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, I think the biggest thing that they do is constantly, I mean, it's part of the gaslighting also, but they're constantly, you know, you will be like, gosh, why is this person treating me this way? Why do I feel so horrible? You know, why? And then when you go to confront them, they play dumb, don't know what you're talking about. Never did that, never said that. Or even worse is they know they did it and said it and will admit to it, but they just don't understand why you're overreacting to it. To them, everything is an overreaction. You are not allowed to have feelings. You are not allowed to have your own feelings, or else, you know, that's where the silent treatment comes in and they won't talk to you for 3 weeks. Like, you either agree with them, it's their way or the highway. You are not allowed to express any kind of feelings that are different from theirs. And if you do, you'll pay for it. You'll either pay for it by, you know, maybe not right that second either. It might be later on when they get drunk that night, or they leave and don't come back for 3 days, or it could be possibly that they wait. You know, there's several different kinds of narcissists, you guys. So, you know, these are the basic, what we're going over is kind of the basis of what they all
Red
kind
flags,
of
like signs,
yeah. But there's different kinds of narcissists. There's the kind that make you feel sorry for you. There's the kind that, you know, are amazing to everyone around them, but their family, you know, there's all different kinds of narcissists. So you kind of have to go, okay, this isn't feeling right. They possess most of these signs. Now you can kind of go in and figure out which one they are particularly. And we're going to do videos on all the different ones, but it's crazy because at the end of the day, it all boils down to that same feeling. I don't know what's going on. I should be happy, but I'm not. Why can't I please this person? Nothing I do, they are happy with. No matter what I try to say to make them happy, they're never happy with. Like, it's a constant, and you're so in love. You know, you really love somebody because in the very beginning of that relationship, they pretended to be everything that you were looking for. They pretended to be everything that they're truly not. And you're so hooked to that you keep thinking, if I can be perfect, change all these things about me, if I can address everything they don't like, then eventually that person is going to like me. Eventually that person
is going to come back again. Like, that person from the beginning is going to resurface. Like, I know he's in there. I know she's in there. I know. They aren't.
They're not in there.
They're not. They're never coming back.
No.
You were the only one who sees their true colors.
Yeah. You know, it's just like somebody that abuses, right? They don't abuse in front of everybody, right? A rapist doesn't just rape publicly. A person that, you know, think about somebody doesn't murder people. I'm going to murder you here in front of a town, you know, in the middle of 5,000 people watching. Look, people are calculated. Narcissists and sociopaths are super calculated with their treatment. And one of the questions I get asked all the time is, do they know what they're doing? Can they be fixed? Like, is it mentally something wrong with them and they just don't get it? Well, I think you can answer your own question. Can they change their behavior when someone they know isn't around? Right? So if they have a group of people, friends, people, you know, if you can go out to dinner and they can be nice to the waitress, and then as soon as she walks away, start beating on you again, verbally, then guess what? They know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And they pick a certain type of person to treat this way. They pick people that are very empathetic. They pick people that forgive over and over and over. They pick people that are super nice. I mean, I would venture to say that if you're in a relationship or know somebody that's a narcissist, it's kind of a compliment because they pick very good people that they want to be like. They pick people that have all of the attributes that they don't have. And then what they do is they try to turn you into somebody that doesn't even know who they are anymore, right? And they start to gaslight you by, you know, saying all these things about you that are really them projecting all their feelings about themselves onto you, right? You know, you're a horrible mother. You know, the millions of things. You're fat. You're lazy. Nobody respects you. You turned into this or you do that. It's all
Yeah.
the things that they feel about themselves they project onto you, and it's you start believing it. You do. You start
You
believing
do.
those things. Sad.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and then you fear every fight could be your last. You don't, you know, and here's the thing is that none of us are perfect. Okay, so I'm not perfect. Lisa's not. You're not. Nobody's perfect. Okay, so we're not saying that that we were these perfect people in this relationship. Nobody is perfect. Okay, but I do know that I am friends with all of my exes. That I've never been hated by any of my exes. I've never, you know, yeah, have I gone crazy before? Been crazy before? We all have. We all do,
Mhm.
right? And in most relationships, a woman especially is allowed to have her crazy time, have her flip out, be a little hangry, be a little crazy, be a little over dramatic, be a little emotional. But coming from my perspective as a woman in a relationship with a man who is a narcissist, there was never ever, oh, I'm on my period, I have cramps, I need to go lay down, I need to take a break, I need to rest. It was always, I was like at attention at all time. I was always like, what next? What next? What next? Like this little dog that was beat all the time. That was like, oh my gosh, just throw me a treat. It's just, it's a lot. You know, and so every fight that I ever got into that turned physical, and you guys, the physical fights. The only horrible part about the physical fight is that it could end in your life ending. But the emotional and the verbal, mental abuse, that stuff, years takes years to heal from, years to just even identify and figure out what it is that this is that you're feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy.
I mean, we're lucky to be here.
Oh, I think of this one particular time. We were probably maybe a year into our relationship, and um, he got drunk one night. We were both drinking, and he literally beat me up so bad that I had to stay in the bedroom away from kids where nobody could see me. He told everybody I was sick for like a week and a half. He would bring my food there, you know, and my kids, what's wrong with mom? Can I go in there? You can't go in there. Like, that is how horrible I looked. I should have definitely went to the hospital. And I mean, I still have things on my face that aren't right because of it. And I remember the treatment that I got after. I was like, oh my God, he's so sorry. And look at, he's treating me like he did during those first 6 months. He's back to that. Maybe he gets it this time. Like, and every time, you know what I mean? And then it's a while, you know, you get love bombed a little bit again to suck you back in. And then, you know,
And
once
you
those
kind of
bruises
like it. And to be honest, you kind of like it. It's so nice. It's
you're nice while they can still see the bruises. Once all of them go away, they're right back to treating you the way they were. It's like, it's this vicious cycle that you end up getting in with abuse because, like, for me, I was addicted to, you know, the whole cycle, the love bombing. I just kept thinking, if I can stay long enough, if I can do just the right thing, I know who he can be. This before I found out what a narcissist was and that he can't change and it's all fake. But before I knew that, I kept thinking, if I can just do the right things, and he's going to bring back to that person he was in the beginning. Like, it's my fault. It has to be my fault. but then, you know, part of you kind of knows that it's not your fault. Part of you knows that when you're warned by the ex-wife and all the exes that, okay, this is a pattern at this point.
Yeah,
But you
this
think
is a
you're going to
pattern.
be different.
But I'm going to be different, and I'm going to prove all of them wrong. And so I'm going to change him. And so you lose all your boundaries. How about boundaries with a narcissist? You don't have
None.
and no. With most people, you can say no, and no is an answer. With a narcissist, no, well, it's because I am this, and well, and you know, and this, and oh. You just are explaining and over explaining yourself.
Yep.
You know what I found though? It's like when you quit doing those things, because I look back at, you know, the last year, and I think about some of the things that I did. And although there was horrible, there were some things where I was just, it was a non-negotiable, where I would just say like, I follow Ray Higdon, and every time you do a 14-day challenge, I'd be like, okay, this is for real now. For these next 14 days, I have to go live every single day, and I can't let anything stop me. So, and I would have to over explain, you know, and please, and I paid for this, and I'm really wanting this, and I'd have to sell him on something that I'm trying to do to better myself.
It's all about his permission. It's all about, if he didn't think of it or come up with it, then it's not worthy of anything, right? It's just like if you would try to go read a book or do something better for yourself. It would be like, that's stupid. I didn't write the book, so why are you even looking at it? I mean, it's just always, I know everything and you know nothing. And, you know, the famous line was, why are you even asking? Since I always tell you what to do and you don't take my advice. Like, it's like, whatever. That's a famous one. But the narcissist, what you have to understand about them is they're always right. And it's their way or no way. You have no opinion. I mean, I'm talking about down, you might be with a narcissist and they'll go, hey, where do you want to go eat? Oh, well, tacos sound good. Well, that doesn't sound good to me. Why did you even ask me? You're going to always end up going to the place they wanted to go. You're always going to go where they wanted to do. I remember my mom and my sisters being in town once and them going, my mom saying, do you realize that he always acts like we're the ones making the decisions, but we never are? He will always, nope, we're not doing that now. Like, we were getting in the car. I had picked a place because he said pick a place. And the second we got in the car, he texted me, and I don't want to go there. We're going to go here. Like, it's the illusion of you're making some kind of decision, but you're really not, you know, and you might feel pressured by narcissists to do things that, you know, normally you wouldn't do, you know, or normally wouldn't be your character, or, you know,
like
normally you're not comfortable with, but you'll do it for them.
How about that? Like, I would have never gotten my tubes tied. You know, I mean, I was persuaded, I was manipulated into altering my body, you know.
Yeah. They'll do anything to please them.
Let's get your tubes tied because we don't, you know, I don't want any more kids. I'm almost 50 years old. I don't want any more kids. You guys, I go get my tubes tied to heal, only to find out I never even had actual sex with the man for 3.5 years. So I had my tubes tied. So don't let somebody talk you into doing things that you don't want to do, that you wouldn't do. And if you feel like, and if you know that if you talk to your mom or your dad or your best friend or your sister, or your brother or anybody about this, and if they would tell you, what the hell are you doing? And you now distance yourself from those people because you know you're going to do what your narcissist is wanting you to do, because you're not going to go against them.
Yeah. Okay, what's next in that book?
You feel on edge around this person, but you still want them to like you. Yeah,
that's a huge one. You know, you don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. Your gut, listen to your instincts, your gut. I mean, my gut and my instincts told me very early on, and I kept ignoring my gut and my instincts. You know, because one thing a narcissist does is many people think they're great. Many people think so highly of the narcissist that you're thinking, well, if all these people think they're amazing, is it me? It's got to be me. Something's wrong. So you stop listening to those internal instincts telling you to get the hell out, get the hell away, cut off this relationship, because you're thinking, okay, maybe I just need to give them more chances, or maybe it's something I'm doing. And again, I mean, it's a lot of confusion, but you will get, I think one of the things narcissists are famous for is the silent treatment. This is to friends, family, coworkers, like
Kids.
cutting you off from things, punishing you in certain ways. Let's say you have a job and your boss is a narcissist and he promises you a promotion, and then all of a sudden he does one thing you don't like, right? That it may be nothing to do with work, and all of a sudden he's holding it over your head, and now I'm going to give it to somebody else. That's an example.
Say your
So
boss,
many
say it's your
examples.
boss and he pays for your phone and you do something that he doesn't like, and then he's like, I'm going to shut your phone off.
Oh yeah, threats, threats, threats. So I've got to share with you guys a story that honestly is super, one of the worst times in my life. So I had found out I was pregnant by my ex-narc, and when I told him, he wanted me to have an abortion, and I did not want to have one. Long story short, it's personal. I'm not going to get into that, but what I will get into is this. I didn't want to have one. He kicked me out. I moved in with my mom. I wasn't going to have one. I just wasn't going to have one. And finally, when I was, past that point of getting an abortion, and he realized that it wasn't going to happen, he was not going to get his way, he finally let me move back in with him, but he didn't acknowledge my pregnancy. And when I say he did not acknowledge my pregnancy, he never touched my belly once. He never said, how you feeling? And I was very sick. I weighed less the day I delivered than I did the day I got pregnant. My emotions were so crazy. I was so, when you're in turmoil like that, your nerves and how you feel inside play a lot. The pregnancy was just horrible, but he never once acknowledged the pregnancy, never once touched my belly, never once. He wasn't getting his way. And because he didn't get his way, he was going to treat me like shit. You know what I mean? He was going to punish me for that. And finally, I have this baby, I deliver, and all of a sudden he is Father of the Year, right? Always wanted it. Doesn't know what doesn't know what anybody's talking about. I mean, there were friends of ours. We played on a pool league, and we would go to this pool league, and I was 9 months pregnant, and they did not know. We played pool with them every week, and they had no clue I was pregnant.
Oh my God.
One, because it wasn't showing, but two, because he didn't talk about it, or didn't want me to talk about it, or didn't. I mean, it was just, I felt horrible, right? It's just, he wasn't getting his way. So first I got the silent treatment by being kicked out. And then once he realized, okay, this is happening no matter what I want, then it was, I'm just going to ignore it now. I'm going to ignore it because he knew it would make me feel horrible. This is the stuff that goes on behind closed doors with a narcissist when you're dealing with one that other people don't even know what's happening. And I'm so embarrassed. I don't want to tell anybody. You know what I remember? It's so funny. The card, my mom was like, what is this card? So, obviously when you're with somebody that's a narcissist, and at the time he was dealing drugs and there was a lot of things going on, I separated myself from my family, and a lot of friends. And I remember my mom being up at the hospital and flowers being delivered from him. And the card said, I'm so proud of you. And my mom was like, what does that mean? Who says that? I don't understand. Like, it's just proud of me. Like, he's a father, not a boyfriend. I mean, it's just, everything is a possession. You are a possession to that person. It's just crazy. But it's crazy reliving some of these memories and going, wow, that is so messed up. The person I am now and knowing what I know, that is crazy. That is like, nobody should have to go through that and feel so alone. I told no one. I had no one. And on top of all of it, I wanted everybody to like him. Why?
And
But
you could have gone
to go
home.
for them.
Like you could have gone home. Like, so when people say, why did you stay? Why did you stay? That's another video about trauma bond, and you guys could have had a wonderful life. You could have been so happy.
How many times I would say that? We have everything. We make, together, more money than most people see in a lifetime. We could have amazing things. Why do you always have to find something wrong? Why do you always have to be unhappy? Why do you always have to, and it's just crazy. You feel not good enough, and you feel like if I can prove enough, if I can love this, I can love it out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I can love him into being nice. And I see so many people that have narcissistic parents, watching my daughter go through it, and, feeling that inner struggle that she has with herself, well, this is my dad. I guess I just have to deal with it. Or do I cut him out? I mean, she has chosen to cut him out. I would never make that decision for her. In fact, now that I know more about it, I need to support it. But at first I was like, you need to talk to him. He's your father. What if something happens tomorrow? You're going to regret
That's
it.
your one and only dad.
Yeah, I would say all those things. And now I don't say anything and let her make her choice, because I've read so much and it makes so much sense. Why would I force my daughter, just because somebody's related to her, to have a relationship with somebody that really literally makes them miserable? I mean,
Because
she would
can
be
start
fine.
healing now. She can start healing now, as opposed to going through these, just continuing this relationship with him.
Yep.
What about how they provoke jealousy and rivalries while maintaining their cover of innocence?
Perfect example. They want you to be jealous. They want you to think something's going on. Oh, I like this person better that works for me now. I'm going to treat them all special in front of you while I treat you like crap and give you the worst hours. I've actually had a narcissistic boss before, so I know how that works in that field. Hey, stop it. Dogs every time. But I mean, I remember in certain instances with you and me, I mean, he would literally take us places and then buy you things in front of me. And then when I'd say something about it, act like I was crazy and just a horrible person for wondering why he was buying you $120 leggings. Like, just stuff like that. Or buying us the same exact present on Mother's Day. And, he would put it in my face to get me jealous and upset. And then when how dare you say anything? Well, you're a horrible human. I'm just trying to help this poor girl who has nothing. Like,
before I realized what he was doing, when I was still just, when I was pregnant with the baby and everything, I wanted so bad to be your friend. I wanted to hang out with you. Like, I wanted to be your friend. And it's so clear now how we were pinned against each other, and how you were made to feel like guilty, like you owed me something, like you were, I don't know what. And then I was made to feel sorry for him and dislike you, because here you had this amazing man in your life and you just didn't even love him. You didn't even pay any attention to him. You didn't even touch him. You didn't kiss him. You didn't give him any love or attention, and you never wanted to be with him. Those were all the lies he would tell me about you. And I would just listen to it and be like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. How could anybody not just love the shit out of you?
Yeah. And in the meantime, I'm sitting like on the other side of things, and he's doing things purposely to make me not want to like you. Behind your back, he's saying all these things that are making me not want to like you. It's a vicious circle. And then they do it on purpose because they love the attention. They love it all being on them and about them. And, I'm wanted by many. It's that narcissistic tendency that they have in them to want to be the center of it all, right? And many women wanting me and everything else.
And they're not coincidences. They're calculations.
No. And they also have very addictive personalities. Most of them, they might be addicted to alcohol or drugs or gambling or all of them.
Or porn.
I mean, yeah, they will. Oh, and they think that they are so successful. It's just, they brag a lot, but try to act like they're not bragging. They'll do a lot of things, like they'll do nice things for somebody, so that person will go publicly and tell everyone what nice things they've done for me. it's just they want attention constantly. They
They
like
play the
attention.
humble. They play like humble pie, but they're not humble.
Yeah, it's crazy. How much attention they get.
Idealization, love bombing, and flattery. So when you
I
first
mean, the
meet them,
thing,
that's when things move extremely fast. How
yeah,
they just sponge off of you.
they do it with friends. They will love bomb friend. You know, when if you've got that person in your life that is buying everything for you, paying for everything, doing everything, but yet you kind of feel this weird feeling inside. Something in your belly is saying this isn't right. Not only that, but you feel this sense of loyalty to do things that either aren't in your character or to just agree with them because they've done these things. They've never said it out loud. Narcissists are very good at never making you feel like you're choosing things. They make you think it's your idea or that you're just wanting to make that decision based off of what they've done for you. But really, they do. You've watched how they've treated other people who have gone against them, and you don't want that treatment. So you learn really quickly how they act to other people. I recall the very few times that I would have somebody in our life stick up for me, they would be cut out within a matter of a month. Like somebody that was a BFF, somebody that was in their life for years, the second they stood up for me and said, wait, something's not right here, this is wrong, never talk to me again. They had never talked to him again. He would cut them out so quick, ice them out. We had multiple people live with us. We never not lived by ourselves. Always
No,
somebody living
never.
with us.
And I never went to
Oh, you
dinner
can't
with
go
them.
anywhere alone. They have to have
Never.
their whole gang of people thinking they're great. Everybody has to do what they want to do, go where they want to go. I mean, this is a man that would sit there and play video games while everyone's sitting on the couch waiting for him to lead to go to here or there. Like catering around his every need. Hey, waiting. Where are we going? What are we doing? What's going to be the
That's
plan
not
for today?
normal.
We have to wait till he says so, and where he says we need to go. It's insane. You lived it more recently. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's not
crazy
normal.
how it's like his little minions.
And
It's
it's not
crazy.
just women that are his little minion flying monkeys. There are men too,
Mhm.
grown men that have survived their whole lives and raised families who are now just, well, they bash and talk bad about and stand up for him, but talk bad about me, but they're being abused by him as well, and they don't even see it. That's the sad thing.
Amen. Oh, look at that. Let there be light.
Compares you to everyone else in their life. Compares you to their ex-lovers, friends, family members.
Oh yeah, that make you feel bad. You know, why can't you be like this person?
When
Why
they're
can't you
devaluing
do
you.
this? Yeah.
The qualities they once claimed they admired about you suddenly become glaring faults.
All the reasons that the person wanted to hire you, all the reasons that the person wanted to be your friend, all the reasons that, they wanted to date you. Now, all of those reasons are the reasons they don't like you. The reasons, the things they throw in the face, the things they need you to change. All of those reasons are now things they hate about you. It's crazy. It's insane how quickly the mask starts to fall off of a narcissist. I would say for most of you, let me tell you what, there's narcissists that can keep a mask on for a couple years. They will always come back out though. They can change. They're not really changing. They're just waiting for the right time where they think they have you. I've literally read stories and talked to women where the first 5 years of their marriage was the best ever, and all of a sudden the mask came off. It will
That's what the
come off.
next one is. Cracks in the mask. They are fleeting moments, or there are fleeting moments when they are charming, cute, innocent, is replaced by something entirely different.
Yeah. A monster.
They're easily bored, like they always have to be doing something.
Oh God. Dude.
I feel like my life is so boring now and I love it. Like,
I know. Oh my God. I don't care what they always have to be doing something and posting that they're doing something, and their life has to look grandiose. Trips and they don't care. They'll pay for everyone to go. Like it, and there's a lot
and
of
they're
narcissists.
not even the one that's posting it. They're having everyone else is posting it
Yeah.
and being like, just, you know, edifying him.
Yeah. Edification, edification, edification. Anybody that will brag on them, they surround themselves with people that are going to agree and look beyond and past any faults. So a narcissist will keep in their space anybody that will look past if they're treating someone else bad, anybody that will look past their faults. But let me tell you what, you show one of your faults to a narcissist and you're done. Like they're out. They will cut you out and punish you, giving you the silent treatment, or maybe not inviting you. Let's say it's a friend. All of a sudden they stop inviting you to do things and you're like, what the heck did I do? And it could have been
And that
something
happened with a couple of our friends.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I've
could
seen
have hung
it.
out with somebody they didn't like. You could have said something they didn't care for, and you don't even know. You just know, wow, I'm not invited to do these things anymore because this person, and then you know what? You have to get back in their good graces. And for some reason with the narcissist, we want so badly because of the way they've manipulated. We want to get in their good graces. We're willing to do anything. We feel bad, so bad about ourselves because we think so highly of this person who is a facade, who is nothing. If you dig into most narcissist paths, most of their lives, most of them don't hold down jobs. Most of them are prone to do illegal things. They don't feel like the law applies to them. That's a huge one. They're willing to go outside the box and kind of break rules. You know, narcissists don't feel like the laws apply to them. I wrote down a couple things. Exaggerates achievements and abilities. Envisions, they want people to envy them. They lack empathy. You already said that. Has arrogant behaviors and attitude, is entitled and exploits others, wants to be admired, thinks they are special, self-important, they're above the law, they're impulsive, reckless, they lack remorse, they're never wrong, ever. A narcissist, let me tell you what, 15 years with my narcissist, and I do not believe I ever heard him say the word sorry unless it was going to benefit him so greatly. And when he would say he was sorry, later on, he would retract it. Narcissists do not apologize and say that they are sorry, right? They just don't do it. And if they do it, they're only doing it as a means to an end to get what they want, and it will be retracted. You will later on figure out what it is that, that they were wanting, and you'll pay for it. I promise you, you will pay for it. It's crazy.
How about you turn into a detective?
Yes, another huge sign you're with a narcissist or a sociopath. Like you're wondering, why is this person locking their phone, and why am I trying to figure out what they're doing, and why do they keep disappearing? Why am I Googling things? Why am I asking friends? Why am I looking for Facebook groups? You guys, that is not normal in a decent relationship. Decent relationships, you don't have to hide your phone from people. You don't have to be worried about sharing something uncomfortable with your partner and thinking they're going to get mad at you. You're allowed to have an opinion, and people aren't going to ignore you for 3 weeks or cut you off. If money's constantly being held over your head, one of the biggest things you'll see a narcissist try to do to anybody, whether it's your friend, coworker, they try to put you in situations where they are in control of things that you need so they can hold it over your head to get what they want out of you. You know, for instance, every single time him and Kimberly would fight, let's say it was something silly, like, oh, you didn't pick up the dog poop. I don't know if that's a thing, but let's just say the first thing he'd be like is, I'm not paying your phone bill. Nope, you're not getting your rent paid this month. Like, but yet anytime she would try to do something to better herself to get to pay her own phone bill, he would say, nope, you're not doing that, class. That's stupid. Like, hold you back, keep you here so that you can't do more to get away, right? You don't ever want to be in a position where that person is bettering themselves so they might actually go, I can do this on my own. I don't need this person anymore. And so there's so many, you know, we've already been on here an hour, so we're not going to keep you guys that much longer, but
Have we?
there's so many things. We're going to break these down. We are going to do individual things and start keeping our videos to like 30 minutes. We're going to try really hard. But the moral of the story is, if any of this sounds remotely, even a little bit familiar to you, I'm telling you, Go do your research. Just Google the word narcissist and narcissist personality disorder, sociopath. Look at the signs and symptoms. And I'm telling you, if it starts to go, oh my God, like if you start to literally feel like somebody who was sick and finally got the diagnosis, I promise you, you're headed in the right direction. And unfortunately, 99.9% of people with narcissistic personality disorder and sociopaths do not seek help. They do not want to get better. It will never change. And the moral of the story is bad things happen, horrible things happen. And we don't want that to be you. You know,
No.
I think about the
Or your
times
best
where
friend
your
or
head
your
hit a wall,
sister.
your head hit the corner of a dresser. Like I think about this stuff and how we got lucky. You could have died. I could have died before. We're just lucky we didn't. You know, it's scary and it's sad. And people, we need awareness. People need to understand these are things to look for. Abuse, let me tell you what. I've read so many stories where the person's being abused verbally, never physically, and all of a sudden they're dead. Not one physical interaction, and all of a sudden that person is dead. Do not think a person has to lay hands on you in order to be ever in a situation where they are not going to end up hurting you to the point where you won't be on this earth anymore. Like, it is serious, and you've got to take this seriously. And more than anything else, if you have sons and daughters, prepare them. Because if I would have known, oh my gosh, I could have avoided so much of this.
Even what our children have experienced, what our children have witnessed, what they've experienced, what they've seen. Yeah. It's too much. And I want us to end with this is if this person ends up being your entire life, if your entire life revolves around this person, I just want to encourage you, if you haven't already, and if they're wanting to move you out of the country, move you out of the state, take you on a road trip. You posted something earlier today about traveling with a narcissist. Don't think it can't happen to you. Don't think it can't happen to you. We're just lucky to be here. And getting up here and speaking our truth and spreading awareness and educating and learning more. This isn't easy, you guys. For years and years and generations, people have swept this under the rug because it's uncomfortable, because they don't want to talk about it. Well, you know what? It's not going away. And it's not going to get any better by avoiding it and acting like it doesn't exist. And I know that not all of you can speak your truth just yet. And I know that there are some of you that are in really big danger right now. And I just want you to know that we are here. I might not have the best advice. I might just listen, but I'll at least do that. I mean, I can't solve your problem or house everybody, but I wish I could. I wish that we had this big ranch somewhere that I could just send plane tickets and gather all of you up. I wish that we could do that. But I want you to know that we're going to do everything that we can. And if all we can do right now is get on here and spread awareness and talk about this with you all and share this, we're going to show up. We're going to show up for you, and we're going to speak for you.
Amen. Amen. That's it, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Check out our YouTube channel, Expose a Narcissist's Worst Nightmare. We also have a Facebook group, which we probably need to change to that name so people can just find it easier, which I guess I'll just do that if I can. Yeah, I think I can. And we just want to thank you guys for sticking around. Look, I know this was kind of long, but who knows? Maybe if y'all stayed this long, you needed to hear it, I guess. Love you, Kimberly. Thanks.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.